remember I did that once, not like that, but I didn't.
Oh, are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, we are?
I mean, we
Nice.
could be.
All right.
Just
never
saying,
know.
be ready for it.
Okay.
you're always recording with Nicole.
Yeah.
She's
It's
consummate
like the CIA.
professional. Yes, dealing with Nicole is like living in China.
Surveillance state.
But I remember years ago, I didn't know exactly the plot of Taxi Driver. I just had never watched it.
Oh.
Did you think it was going to be like Taxi, the show?
Yes, I did. I did.
I, for a long time, was like, those are clearly part of the same universe. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
no, they aren't.
I
You thought it was
a-
based on the video game
Yeah, I thought
Crazy
it was,
Taxi?
I thought it was a multicam romp, and
Where's
Yeah.
Rhea Perlman?
I remember throwing it on in the morning as like a lighthearted. Like, my whole day was just shot. I remember I went to go play basketball after that, and people were like, "Why are you crying?" It was so upsetting.
One day a real rain's gonna come. Is Anthony okay?
He's never played better.
I've
He's so focused.
I've done this to myself twice now with the Deer Hunter.
Oh yeah.
Where the first time I saw it, I watched it. It was like Netflix DVD days. Watched it and was like, oh my god. And then like put it on again to fall asleep to for some reason.
Yeah, fun.
And forgot to set the sleep timer on the TV, so it just played through. And I just woke up in Vietnam, basically. and then like last year, I was at the Philly Punchline, and I was with Billy Wayne Davis, and I mean I had my own room, but where I was opening for him, and he gave the guy he was with had like weed that he grew.
Mm-hmm.
If you get Billy Wayne Davis weed,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. You're fine. Like something
Yeah.
fresh out of Humboldt. Just
Yeah.
like insane.
and
So good.
they gave me some, and I went home. It was like Saturday after the Late Show, and Deer Hunter had popped up in the Netflix queue of whoever was still logged in.
Oh.
So I just sat there and I smoked a little bit of that weed, and I've never focused so hard on Deer Hunter and had to watch it to the end.
Of
like
course.
I couldn't.
Right.
I have no problem checking out of a movie,
Totally.
Yeah.
but I really think it was that weed that kept me focused, and I stayed up till like 3 a.m. to get to the end of the Deer Hunter.
To
And
then have a peaceful slumber after
yeah,
that. I
oh,
assume.
terrible sleep. The next morning was absolutely awful.
I've never seen it.
I was actually gonna ask you, what do you think the Deer Hunter might be about?
Based on the video game.
Yeah,
Deer Hunter.
Big Buck Hunter.
Big Buck Hunter.
Duck Hunt? Oh.
Yeah.
Greg is so
It's a-
excited. They finally found a way
So,
to make it into a movie.
Golden
IP
Age.
reigns.
Yeah, golden age for IP.
can I truthfully tell you what it's about? And I'm not going to be funny. What I
Mhm.
truthfully think Deer Hunter is about, I'm taking
Yep.
a wild swing,
Mhm.
is there was a guy who is a deer hunter, and he was in the woods, and he found the body of a little girl.
Okay.
And they're trying to find out who the killer is or something, and it changes him forever in a way. And then we find out the killer is someone who's been I'm mixing this movie up with that movie about the girl who was dead, and then she helps her dad find the killer. I think Mark Wahlberg. No one saw that movie? It was like, oh, Them Lovely Bones or something.
Oh,
the
them
lovely
lovely
bones.
bones.
The lovely.
Them lovely bones.
Oh, Them Lovely Bones.
That sounds like a Mark Wahlberg movie.
I do love the idea that was maybe pitched as one of the original titles.
Yes.
We can get rid of O.
They were like, we have to step in here. We know he's funding the movie. We cannot call it "Oh, them lovely bones."
Was it the Lovely Bones? Them Lovely Bones?
Not
I
them
know-
lovely bones.
Yeah, it's-
Not
I think it's
them
called
bones, them
lovely-
bones.
Yeah, them bones, them bones,
Them bones, them
lovely
bones. Boys, they lovely.
Them bones, them bones, them bones. What's it about? Am I close though? A deer hunter finds a baby girl body dead?
So far,
Really?
so far.
You did say something
away.
about Vietnam. That's what I was like, tried to pretend I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. The title's quite misleading.
Right.
Do I tell you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
it's just about a group of friends who grew up together in Pittsburgh and end up going to Vietnam together as well, and then one of them basically like gets lost to life in Vietnam, and the other one goes back to get him.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it kind of
No deer?
charts there. There is deer.
There
There is deer
is.
hunting, and it's like the parallel. Like they start out as like they're friends in Pittsburgh, and they go on a deer hunting trip before they ship off to Vietnam.
Good movie?
oh, won an
insanely good
Academy
movie.
Award. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't listen to the awards.
Christopher Walken. You don't listen to the awards.
Christopher
What-
Walken?
Yeah. What
yeah.
guides
Al
you?
Pacino.
No, because the
Are you-
awards are all bullshit. You know.
Okay.
Maybe
They're never
move in
doing,
just an
like-
inch so
They're
you're not-
never giving
yeah.
the awards out to people who. It's always like, hey, we gave it to him because we didn't give it to him 5 years ago. It's like, fuck you. You should have gave it to him 5 years ago. You don't give it to him now because now you're fucking over this other great movie because you didn't give Coppola something. You know, they give it to him when their worst movie 10 years later. It's like, well, that's not an award then. I'm out.
What movies are you thinking of? What movie in specific?
That's happened. I know that's happened.
It has.
You know, they
No,
say
it has.
that,
I was
you
just,
know,
Yeah,
you just
but if
seemed
there was
so
one-
fired up by it. I was wondering if
there
there
was
was like a
great
specific.
movie that didn't get an award, and then because they gave it to someone else who they owed one, and then that movie 5 years later they're going to give it to him because like, hey, we had to give Coppola, so now we're going to give it to you, Lenny, because you stay in the business or whatever, you know. And it's like
Yeah,
that's not an
Lenny.
award.
Yeah.
It's not an award. Give it to the movie that's the best. Oh, it's art. How do you fucking say it's the best movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because right now,
poor Lenny's up there like, I never expected all
When
this,
you-
folks. I'm just a guy named Lenny.
When you say Lenny, and I think directors, I just think Lenny Riefenstahl, the woman that directed Hitler's propaganda movies. So Triumph of the Will, like all that, like, you know.
good pull, Jim.
Yeah. She's,
Good
I mean,
Should we introduce our guest and
Yeah.
tell everybody what's going on today?
Well, I'll introduce our guest.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about
Because I love this guy.
Yeah.
Jim Tews, one of my favorite comedians. He's one of our.
Mhm.
Rarely do we have friends who are great comedians and we love.
It's true.
Right?
What?
Usually our friends who we
don't-
love.
Actually, yeah.
I would say most
I
of
just
our
kind
friends
of
are
agreed
good
to that.
comedians. Yeah.
But
I don't know,
what are you
man.
taking cold pitches from a TikTok agent?
I fake laugh.
I think we're
at most
only
of my good friends.
surrounded by people that we love and also think are great
Yes.
comics.
I know, but that's not as funny. You know what I mean?
Sure, I
Sure.
get it.
Uh,
For sure.
yeah. No, Jim and you with pictures is the YouTube special, and Jim's fucking great. And I gotta say this, I don't know what's special because I don't think you ever put it on. Jim does my favorite joke of all time, which you said you did, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the joke,
it.
and then you
I think
fix
that's
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you're like with all these self-driving cars? He was like, well, the people who take self-driving cars are mostly old
I
people,
love that joke.
and you know old people are just gonna die in the car, so it's just gonna be like an old person, dead old person delivery system.
Yeah.
You open the door, it's like grandma, she just flops out on the floor. I don't remember even how it really goes, but I've been telling that
pretty much
joke.
how
No,
it
that's
goes.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
I made it way longer and slower, but you tightened it up, so I appreciate that.
I think the
Speak fast.
The flop always makes me laugh.
Yeah,
the
flop is
image
funny.
of that flopping person at Thanksgiving always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember you did. I remember specifically you did it at the Creek. I saw you do it at the Creek, and then I asked you about that joke, and you were like, "It's not working. I'm not doing it anymore." And I remember being like, "Jim, you gotta do that joke. It's like one of the funniest fucking jokes."
That's very funny. I have a very maybe because same. I like that joke so much. I have a very specific memory of you at UCB East.
Oh,
The same
Oh.
thing where I was like, "That's amazing," and you were like, "It never works."
Mm.
And I was like,
It's-
"I would kill for that joke."
I put it on an album, but it rarely it worked on like a couple times. I found
I
ways
know
to
what you
make it
mean.
work.
Sure. Yeah, I know.
And then you're like on home turf and an album recording. You
course.
can get stuff to work a little
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah.
But there were so many times at a club where
Totally.
people would just be like, "Oh,
Yeah. There's certain ways that like audiences don't want to think about death, even when it's very funny and super removed from their lives. Like every
Yeah.
once in a while, like that you say a dead old person, and people are
Yeah.
like, "Not an old person." It's like, "Yes, an old person." Like,
Yeah.
well."
Those
I,
are the ones who die.
yeah,
the
They're
way
supposed to die.
that I
That's the
fixed
whole
it
thing.
Yeah.
was NATO Green. Do you remember him?
I don't know no NATO Green.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, this is a great movie.
He actually.
You know NATO? I don't know NATO. You don't know NATO? I know NATO. It's Bernie Mac
Oh.
in when he's playing like the president's whatever, and he goes, Larry, whatever goes. What do you think about NATO? He goes, I don't know NATO. And they go, well,
Okay.
he goes, well, do you know NATO? And he's like, you know NATO Green? And he's like, I don't know NATO Green. Well, you don't know NATO? I don't know NATO. Nobody knows NATO. You don't know your NATO? I don't know my NATO. It's something like that. So I don't know who NATO Green is, but that's a great scene from Bernie Mac in the president.
We just say NATO Green, right?
I don't think he said NATO
Okay,
Green.
because I'm like, did I get his last name
No,
wrong?
no.
That's not. I've known.
Sorry, NATO Green.
No, NATO's a real person who.
Yes,
Yeah.
he was a San Francisco comic, and I was doing that joke in San Francisco, and I was like, it doesn't work, so I'd say an old person. And he's like, oh, it's too close to the people thinking about their grandparents. You got to make it you, like you're the one who died.
Right,
No.
right.
And then I did that, and that got the joke to work.
Ah,
That's
there
so
you go.
weird.
Because then you're
So
you're-
strange.
Yeah,
Just like little.
I disagree.
The people in the audience are like, "We want you to die."
I don't
yeah. We,
disagree.
Not-
wish
yeah.
death upon you.
Not just like
Right.
an abstract person. We want you
You
to die.
Right.
die.
I say
What's up?
fuck those people. because it's like to me it's such a great joke because it's like it's something that they do have to think about, like that is going to happen, and you thought of it before Tesla thought of it. That's why it's so great.
Yeah.
Anyway. Anybody wants to listen to
Well,
me?
it's Greg's birthday.
We're all listening to you.
Oh yeah, it's my birthday.
Listening pretty hard.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Happy
Thanks.
birthday, Greg.
22? Is that what you
22
said?
years old. What?
You're
22.
44, right?
I'm 44. I think 44.
I remember when I was little, my dad would not. I'd be like, "How old are you?" And he'd be like, "I don't know." You know, just like he wouldn't have an answer. Like
Right.
it would take him a minute, and I was always like, "How do you not know?" And now I'm like, "Oh, I have no idea how old
Yeah.
I am."
No.
Yeah.
If you ask me on any day, I'm like 40.
I just know I'm in the 40s.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
1, 2.
I know because I would never know. But today I had to do the math. My first son is born on the same. I was born 81. He was born 2021. So however old
so
he
you're-
is, I'm exactly 40 years older than him. So that's
That's
how I
nice.
can do it.
That's
What
easy.
a godsend this is for you specifically to have this.
Yep.
Where your son is born the day before your birthday and have that mathematical thing align.
Yeah. So my second son his birthday was yesterday, and my first son was exactly 40 years before me. So there's a way for me to remember.
Right.
Also, my birthday's in June. My second son's birthday's in June. Tita's birthday's in September. Also, Tita's
His birthday's 9/11.
September 11th.
Really, you've set this up to be as easy as possible for specifically you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Can I tell you a joke that never worked that I
Yeah.
always thought was funny? I used to always go, my wife's birthday is on 9/11, and I forgot. And people were like, then she reminded me, and I was like, fuck, now I got to change what it says on the cake. And they never got a laugh, but I always
What?
thought it was so
That's
funny.
great.
Yeah.
I wonder now if the further you're removed from 9/11, if it would work better now. Do you know what I mean?
I was doing it 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no.
were,
Yeah, no.
yeah, right away.
You gotta
that
try it.
afternoon you had it, I think. Yeah.
Let me tell you, the younger generation, they think 9/11 is hilarious.
Yeah.
They love
Oh,
it.
do they?
They really
I
do.
couldn't tell if like Gen Z would be like kind of that generation that's like, you can't talk about it. It's like,
Oh,
you weren't
no,
even born
no.
yet.
Like half my TikTok is just like guys that are 15 years younger than me making 9/11 jokes.
It was our Holocaust jokes. We used
Yeah.
to do that with the Holocaust.
Or
We did-
Vietnam.
Or
Yeah.
Or Vietnam.
Right.
Did we do Vietnam
This
jokes?
is really
I mean, I thought
Are
it was
there-
easy to make fun of Vietnam, but
Are there any 9/11 jokes that have stood out to you from your TikTok?
there's one. Oh shit! How does it? The one that I actually kind of like, is when they go like, "Oh, the '90s called, and they want your shirt back." Like, also I'm fucking it up. I can't memorize jokes that aren't my own.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
There is a fun-
they act like they're getting a call from
Yes,
the past, and
yes,
it's the
yes. There's a whole trend on TikTok where people are getting a phone call.
Yeah, yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like a
You
little
get-
thing, and they're like, the second tower just
the
fell.
sec-
Like, it's
yeah,
like,
that's what
funny.
it is. That's it.
They
Oh,
they
that's
fake like an
funny.
actual phone
they fake
call?
a phone
Oh,
call.
Yeah.
2000s call. They want their shirt back. Also, the second tower went down.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Or it'll be
Like-
like somebody throwing something, and then it's like a match cut to the plane hitting the towers.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of 9/11 stuff on
Yeah.
TikTok. You just gotta find it.
Whoa.
yeah.
I've been getting it too.
Can I tell my two favorites? But they're just like street jokes.
Yeah.
One, which is old as day, was my favorite. Was what kind of pizza did the towers order?
Kind.
2 planes.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's
Right
good.
there.
It's right there.
That,
And then-
that is right there.
My favorite, which is one that I came up with,
Oh, okay.
which it cannot be told in joke format. It can only be told a very specific way, which is you're drunk at a party
Mm.
and then you whisper into someone's ear. I was hammered.
Yes.
The best jokes are often told.
Yeah.
Really close to you.
I think it was Tim Dillon. I snuck
That
up to him at a
sounds-
party and I was drunk and I went, you go whisper in there, you go, 9/11 wasn't an inside job. It was a great job.
Yeah.
You have to
That's
whisper
fun.
it. You
That's
can't
fun.
tell it.
Yeah, you can't just like
Yeah.
say it.
Yeah, so it's just like a fun for me one.
It's a totally different.
Yeah, you can't do it on stage.
thing.
You're right, though. The whisper sells it.
Yeah, the
You have to
whisper. I
whisper
get
it.
it now.
Because
then
it's
they go-
sinister.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you wanted to whisper it.
People
It
go, I
makes
think that
sense.
you're in on it. Did you have a part in that?
I would love to have found out you played a part.
Yeah.
Yes. A small part. A very
Sure.
small part.
Sure.
But a part nonetheless.
There are no small parts.
What do you think your part might have been if you had to have played a small part?
the guy came up to me at the thing and he was like, "Hey, could you just distract this person for a minute while I run on that plane?" And I went, "Sure, I like to perform."
Oh, at the gate.
At the gate, and I started doing my karaoke.
Like a stranger comes up to you at the Newark airport or wherever and goes, "You look like a guy who has charisma." And if you play to your sense of ego, and then he gets you doing it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
And because it was pre 9/11, things were loose then at the airport. It
Yeah,
was
you
kind of just
coulda-
a show.
You could have
Yeah.
walked right up for sure.
Yeah. Pre 9/11 was a time. You need me to hold that? I'll just hold it the whole thing. I could be your physical
No, I'm gonna
table.
hold
Can we get started?
it.
We've been
Yeah.
No,
going.
we get some Talktowny
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. You got some
absolutely.
Talktown stuff.
So
And Jim, if you've got anything about how you'd like to fix or change society,
Right.
we could talk about it,
Yeah.
but you don't
I mean,
have to.
besides,
But Greg's always full of it.
take
so.
9/11 back.
Right. Well,
That's all I got right now, though.
so this is under the category of I like to call after dark laws.
Oh,
I think
After Dark laws in general,
yeah.
terrific.
Yes. Laws that work like TV in the 2000s,
Yes,
90s.
yes.
Everything after 8 is a
10
little
p.m., you can say
dirtier.
shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now I don't want to jump the shark, but I'm gonna go big first time, which is after 8, sex and masturbating is allowed in public places when noted. So
This
you
is
go after
interesting.
8, this bar. If you want to fuck in this bar, you can fuck in this bar. It's up after 8 o'clock. There's no kids here, but there'll be a sign.
So you're proposing that the world is treated how HBO used to treat
Yes,
its
HBO.
programming.
Yes.
Yeah, HBO dirty
A
time.
warning, but it's allowed now.
Yeah.
Yes.
A warning to those who don't want to participate.
And I'll say this, not just straight fucking in the bar. Like, you go in the bathroom. Like, you can fuck in the bathroom in a bar
Okay.
after 8 o'clock.
I'm fine with that. I think the public masturbation, I don't know if there's a time of day I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
In the bathroom after dark.
I'm assuming that I mean, I guess that doesn't affect me in the way, but like, I don't want to be at a bar and some guy be like, "Bleh," you know?
Well, he looks at you and then goes, like, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this is way better for you. Because you let that guy
better.
post.
You're
Better
having
than what?
Hear him out.
You're having a conversation with him, and he goes, I gotta go to the
gotta go.
bathroom. And you're like,
it 8 o'clock already?
I thought that was going
Everyone's
really
alarm.
well.
It's legal now.
Everyone's
Yeah.
alarm goes off.
Yeah.
Just watches across the room and then a mad dash to the bathroom.
It's just a line out the door, and some poor guy who has to just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you,
Oh,
You
I didn't
know?
even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
let me tell you why. Well, we could have, we could have like
Jerk
family
off
bathrooms.
stalls.
Yeah.
The family bathroom at night is now the jerk off bathroom because you're
Yeah.
not bringing your kids. They don't got to get changed there.
And then it just,
Yeah.
then somebody's got to get some extra money to clean that bad boy up before
And
day.
you gotta
Creating jobs.
you gotta strengthen the diaper changing tables. if
Very
you're gonna
strong.
do all
yeah,
that
very
sort of
strong.
thing.
Reinforced.
Yeah.
That's coming from you, I know, for very personal reasons. Because I've also looked at those things like, can I fuck my wife on this thing? And that thing goes down. So I know you thought about that with your lady. You're not gonna
I
drop
just thought it
hints.
would be fun to, sit up there
Yeah,
and jerk off.
yeah. I'd like to feel like a baby who's coming. It's always been my dream. Combine my favorite two things.
I was waiting to get powdered.
Let me throw this out there why it's better for you.
Okay.
You're on a date or you're at a bar and some guy's like, hey, really nice to meet you, right?
Yeah.
And then in his mind, he's
I'm
going,
sorry.
I gotta fuck this girl, I gotta fuck this girl, I gotta fuck. Then he goes to the bathroom, cleans his pipes, then he comes back, he's like, I want to hear all about your book. Right? It's gonna like the
I
puzzle.
guess like nothing is stopping men from doing that now.
Yes, there is.
Really?
Yeah, because we're in the bathroom, hear some guy going, hey, ooh.
But
We're
like
gonna
a,
be yo, that guy-
like a one-oner, like where it's just like shut the door, you're in a private room. I
Like
would
a u-
imagine
like a
that there
Union Hall
are men
bathroom.
Oh yeah.
who are.
I have. Yeah, sorry.
You have
No, well, yeah. I have a
this
quick
is not-
anecdote,
this
and then
is
I'll
not a
get back on
judgment.
track.
on that either. I mean, I don't like. There is a world where I'm like, I don't know, is that like so bad?
What, being all horned up?
Like, no. If like somebody was in a private room and was like, ah, God, I'm like, I just got to like
Get the devil
deal
out.
with this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it worse than blowing it up with shit?
I agree with you,
Yeah.
Allison.
It's a
We are
fine
on
point.
fucking
you-
same page so much.
You clean
That's
up
why I
after
created this
yourself.
line.
You
God.
wash your hands.
Yeah.
You're good.
Calling my
Yeah.
therapist.
Do what you want in there.
I remember when
Yeah.
I used to work at the law library in college,
Mm.
and it
I
was
also worked at a library.
Mhm.
It's a good job.
This is maybe where our stories differ. I had it was a very boring job.
Yeah.
So and I college, you're so horny. So I would go to the bathroom and masturbate. And one time, someone walked in, and I guess I was being too loud. And they went, I swear to God, they went, there isn't someone masturbating in here, is there? And I went, no. And it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, but did you finish?
Probably.
Yeah.
Blacked
out after
that
that.
time, yeah. Yeah, it's all kind of a mess after that. But okay, so now the after dark is now are cars going through the streets to kind of remind people, you know what I mean?
It's night, and what other night
like a guy running for mayor? It's after dark. Take your pants
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
after
like-
dark.
That is exactly what I mean. Yes.
Like the Purge when they like call it
Yeah.
out and it comes out of the loudspeaker.
Yeah, just
And
so
yeah.
No, go ahead.
And are there non-sexual elements to these laws too? Like, can I don't know, smoke weed in a park after dark? I feel like I should be allowed to.
I would say yes, but that's just going to bring the wrong kind of people.
Oh, but
You know-
masturbating in public and fucking outside.
I mean,
That's
I
the
feel
right
like
It's
kind
a
of
different
people.
type of people. Yeah.
I feel like you just need like red light district
Yeah.
hours.
Oh, there you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Red light district, but it's not the district, it's the whole world.
everywhere.
You just everything you could do in a red light district, you can now do after 9 p.m.
See, I like this. Like, okay, everyone can be a prostitute after 8 o'clock.
Yeah, only in conservative cities.
Yeah.
What
Only
Yeah.
in red states.
now? What about like a place like a church? Do you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Can you masturbate in there? Does that supersede like buildings?
Law, the God's law.
Right. Yeah.
I think everything in Talktown supersedes God's law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
It
think
is
it's
a
like we
secular place.
secular.
just
The church
think
goes from secular to secular.
Well, I'm only saying this because, like, you know, people walk into churches at hour, you know, who know they're grieving or whatever, and then they sit down, and someone sits down next to them, and they just start jacking off.
Well, people grieve and worship in different ways.
That's
It's a very
true.
personal thing.
Can I
That
say
is
the person
true.
that's going to a church to masturbate at night was going to do that no matter what?
Well, no,
I don't know if the law was stopping them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right. They're getting it done anyway.
Yeah.
Here's the other question with the sex stuff. Part of the reason why you'd want to do that is because you're not allowed to do it.
Right.
So now when
Right.
you're allowed to do it,
Right.
is it just like, this isn't cool anymore?
Right.
You know?
Well, I'll say this: I've been with women, and I was like,
Sure.
So I did one time I got a blowjob in a bathroom once, and the bartender started banging on the door,
Right.
and I was like, I was young, so I was like, is this not allowed? Like, I thought this is fine. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
kind of me
Yeah.
being like, what? We're
seen
both in here.
movies.
Yeah. this
Yeah,
is-
in movies and TV, that is happening a lot.
Yeah, I thought this is fine. It was a one-manner. The door's locked, and she was banging on a thing, and we came out, and I was like, this wasn't about a public place. This was about, like, I got 5 roommates. She's got 5 roommates. You know,
Right.
this is only, and it's like, we're hot and heavy right now. What's going on? Get me out of here. You know what I mean? But,
yeah.
you know, so that wasn't really about the public place. It was just the intensity, the passion.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know what I
because
mean?
the time limit, something bad could happen here.
Yeah.
What is so? This is starting. It's starting at 8 p.m.
On the nose.
In the summer, it's
Yeah,
still
sun's
light
not
out.
even down yet.
Still light out. Yeah,
I think we gotta push this. We gotta push this a little bit.
Pushing it back, at least in the summer.
I don't mean
Yeah.
to sound like a
10.
Puritan,
hours.
but
Yeah,
It is called After Dark.
yeah, man.
So, yes, After Dark.
what are they doing in Alaska or like the places where it's like
All dark?
daylight out or all dark?
But then it's all
That
light.
is drawing people to Alaska. I
Okay.
think it's all night all the time. That means it's after dark for 3 months. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's Amsterdam over there.
That's
Where
right.
you
It's a
are.
sex town.
Staple of perverts and bears.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. So I would go with, and also
Three
you could play
perverts
music.
and bears.
After 8, you'd have cursing music. You know, you could have more music for cursing.
music.
You know, musical curses. You know, I don't
Yeah,
think
no,
you would
for
do it.
sure. Just no
Sure.
one talks that way. That's all.
You know, music with its explicit lyrics.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, your children's places should flip over to something that's now after dark.
I like
Adult
that.
Oh, it's like
Okay.
a, like
I
a Dunkin'
this.
Donuts Baskin Robbins situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So now playgrounds are all sex swings.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Every
right.
place is like dusk till dawn.
Yeah.
Where the lights go out, they lock it in, and it's just vampires eating women and drinking liquid off of feet or something.
This is a
Never
fuck
did it.
swing now.
Yeah.
So this goes from wintertime 8 o'clock, summertime 10.
10. We'll call it 10.
Okay. When does it end?
You know when. When they come, when everyone comes. When people come.
When everybody comes.
For you. It's all
Everybody has to come every night, all the time.
Yeah.
I love that. Just like last call, the bartender rings a bell and he goes, "Has
Start coming.
everyone in here
Everybody.
come?" All right, we're not. After deck hours are over now.
I would say I would like to do something, just for whatever reason, where we all of America, all of the world, we all go, we're all going to masturbate or have sex together, and we're all going to come at 12. You gotta say, like, if the world.
Impossible to plan.
I know, but you gotta say, like, if the world could all sing at the same time, it's like a beautiful thing. Like, what if we all do, like, a big sex thing? We all go, like, hey, everyone's going to come at midnight on January 30th. 31st. It's our second New Year's. Last day in January, we all come.
Okay.
That'd be a fun thing to plan.
This feels like a radio stunt from the 90s.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly right. We could set it up.
I going back to last call. I just like the idea of a bartender being like, "You don't have to come at home, but you can come here." This sets everyone out.
That's great. That's a new rendition of Closing Time.
Yeah, Closing Time.
Coming time. Time for someone write that down. That's a new. I'll write that song
Yeah.
tonight.
Right.
Weird Al, come out of retirement.
Yeah. We've got your next project.
What? So is it limited? So it's sex, masturbating, and are we capping
Musical swearing.
Musical swearing.
Musical swearing, of course.
Or musical swears.
Are we capping it there?
I think whatever your idea of dirty is,
Okay.
right? So if you're like
So it's just about dirtiness. It's not about like lawlessness.
yeah, it's just about dirtiness. It's just about like what we think is like bad, you know?
Freakiness.
Yeah, it's like if you're a cake place, it's like, guess what? After 8 o'clock, we serve all devil's chocolate or some bullshit, right?
All
It's
dick
whatever
cakes.
dirty is to them, whatever you wouldn't want the
Sure.
kids around to do. You
Okay.
know, you don't want the kids to see. The kids are in bed. Now it's this. You know what I mean? Whatever that means. And I'm open to ideas. You know
Yeah,
what I
we
mean?
know.
I'm open. It doesn't have to be sex. What do you
Okay,
want to
if
do?
it's not sex.
Yeah, like what?
Just drug use?
Okay.
I mean, I will say like weed. Like I'm like there are places where it's like even though it's legal here in New York City, like you're not supposed to smoke in parks. You're
Right.
not supposed to like.
Yeah.
So you
I-
know, a little looser on that. I'd be happy.
Yeah, I just don't want. We'd have to get the criminal element out of it, you know, because then people smoke weed in the park and there's robberies. So it's like we'd have to have some
What?
nice, beautiful lighting. You ever go to Madison Square Park at like 2 a.m? People
No,
are getting hot. Exactly.
What are you doing around?
Yeah,
What are Square Park at
you
2 in
live
the
in New
morning?
Jersey.
Dad in Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
I'm looking for things, and I am not checking what's between the legs. That's like a '90s joke. Yeah, no, but like I work at the cellar at 2 a.m. Like I used to walk to the train,
Oh.
and you just
Yeah.
see like like homeless people, like like you want to make it a more fun, safe after dark.
Well, we have to like
element.
also like solve all of those problems before we can just be like, and you can have sex at night.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like whatever.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna have to eliminate homelessness and take care of people's mental health and make sure everybody has like
Yeah, and I don't know.
So
how to do
well,
that.
imagine a world though where that is dealt with
Right.
because that's
Right.
what Talktown is.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
Also, I also want to do things like optometrists that are open late at night because I can never get shit done at night.
can I pitch something?
Yes.
Once a month, doctors are 24 hours.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like I get that they can't keep those hours all the time, but like there should be like one, like maybe like the last Friday or last Thursday or something like, or the 20th. Like that's when like if you're like okay, doctor, dentist, like
Banks.
accountant,
Mhm.
bank, like
Anything
haircuts.
Yeah.
haircut. They're open kind of late, but yeah, later. Like anything that is like business hours that conflicts with people who have business jobs that work the same hours. Like there needs to be nighttime. Like we're all like, I'm like, I'll do whatever in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
doing this.
You know what's really fun about that is like now you have people getting drunk and getting crowns. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
If you have
Yeah.
doc, like it just adds a new element of like when you're
Yeah.
hammered.
God, being
because there's
drunk
only
at the
so
dentist
many.
would be awful.
Right,
You're
but
like
there's
a-
only so many options. When you're that drunk, you're like, what can we do? Usually it's like karaoke. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Well, we've already jerked off in a park.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go get that root canal I've been putting on.
I just love the idea you have a dentist who's like, a fucking bachelor party's coming in. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hate this day. Yeah.
Dude, you know how much easier my life would be? I put the kids to bed. It's like, okay, now I can get all of the things I need to get done. I can go get a haircut is huge, a shave, a massage.
Oh, interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
like just it's
Right.
like, hey, honey, everyone's sleeping. I can go have a real day at night.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A day at night.
Yeah, day at night day.
Yeah.
Now,
hmm
are the after dark if you are taking advantage of this like all night dentist,
Mm-hmm.
are there after dark rules still apply there where you can beat off, or can the
No.
dentist beat off?
No, I think it's got to be
Yes.
like it has to be it has to be functional for you. Otherwise, like, what's the point?
Sure.
Like, it has to be like, oh, I can actually go get this taken care of,
Right. So
without
then,
worrying that my dentist is going to jerk off on me or whatever.
Totally.
The fuck
No, I guess so. Okay, so if you are working, then you can. Is that what?
yeah,
the
but that's
assumption?
once a month,
Okay.
and I feel like that's
I also want to
Fair.
go back to the rule that like
yeah, I think it's fair. I was just
yeah.
we're not
No.
jerking off in public. You go to a bathroom. It's okay in the bathroom.
Oh, so
I still say
okay.
after dark rules still like, there's no
bathrooms
It's
are
taxi
different.
cab confessionals vibes.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can have like,
okay.
and some cab guys are like, you could fuck in the back of my cab. Like I always like that,
Yeah.
I thought that was a totally fine thing to do. I didn't realize
I know.
Mhm.
that that's a thing cab drivers don't like.
Yeah.
I thought they were cool. I was like, I thought you were cool, man. Not
yeah,
cool.
number one qualification for becoming a cab driver: be cool, man.
You're fucking
Be cool
man.
about whatever is going on back there.
Before you, hey man, we got to go to Astoria. But are you cool? Are you cool, man? Because we're pretty
Yeah.
fucking cool.
He looked up in the rearview mirror and he's like, with his sunglasses, I'm cool.
Totally cool.
Wait, last night we were at a bar for a bit, and then Anthony and I left at the same time, and I got in that cart. Did you hear me yell, "Oh my God, there's so much
It was
candy"?
very funny. I heard Leiby get into an Uber, and I just heard her go, "Oh my God, there's so much candy in here."
This Uber driver had like
That's so funny.
she had like decorative
It was pretty
lights,
crazy.
and like there was a lot of stuff going on inside of her van. But then there was this like bowl, but it was like then I inspected it was like mostly Dum Dums, and I was like, this is useless.
I know.
Still a rarity in New York. to
Yeah,
get
and she had
that
like
kinda-
freezing cold bottles of water. I took
Oh,
two. It
That's
was like,
pretty cool.
Damn.
I was like, I
Old
got
school Ubers were like that. When Uber first came out, they're like, would you like
Mhm.
some water?
yeah,
They
a
were doing
mint.
it.
It was like getting a black car service, and now it's just like,
If you
Yeah.
don't rate me, it's a success.
yeah.
Yeah,
Here's an
really
$80
gone
ride in a
downhill.
Toyota Camry.
Right.
I will say this is kind of similar to the old idea we had a few episodes ago, but I do think cool cabs is the
This
thing.
is
Cool
lookies.
cabs, yeah.
Looky
it's
loos.
totally.
a cool cab is just a guy where you're letting me smoke in the back, smoke weed in the back, fuck in the back. Hey, it's like Uber X, Uber XL, Uber cool.
Uber cool.
Uber cool, man.
The idea too, if you're in an Uber cool, it's like international waters.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
really tried for most stuff.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Going back to okay, so now some things are opened up. Now, are some things illegal after dark? Like, can you not read the news? Do you know what I mean?
This
Like,
a
is
whole
there
other
an
idea.
inverse to this that
Oh.
like you're fostering this like after dark element?
Can't talk to your kids.
Can't talk to
Yeah,
your kids. Yeah. No button
News.
ups. What you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
Stuff like that.
No sales tax.
No sales
Yeah.
tax.
I like this. No sales tax after 8 o'clock.
I'll say this: no glasses.
Oh, what are we gonna
We'll
do?
go
Wow.
blind.
Hey, we want
Okay.
everything a little blurry.
Everyone in
You
this
don't wanna-
room would be
Yeah.
in,
That's
in
fine.
literal danger.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
I just
but-
panicked when you said that.
But
Also-
you'd be like, did I do that? Did
That's
I
what I'm
not
saying.
do that?
No,
It
but if I-
might, you know.
If I can suck a dick after 8, I want to see whose dick I'm sucking. You know what I mean? So don't take it away.
All right, fair
Yeah, I'll say this. After
Okay.
8 p.m., no sexuality. Everybody's everything.
Fluid.
Yeah. You don't
Ah.
like, and you don't, allergies aren't allergies. You don't have an almond allergy after 8.
I do like a
Eat
town,
all the things you couldn't
You
eat.
can
How
only
are we
wear
gonna do
monocles.
that?
You can only wear monocles.
like a
You
town
need
that
to see.
works like a bar, where it's like it's Fluid Wednesdays,
Fluid Wednesdays.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it does
ladies'
something.
night,
Yeah. Whatever
Puerto
you do-
Rican night.
It's ladies'
Puerto
night.
Rican night.
Do with that what you will. Those are just words.
After 8, whatever you do it's Vegas. What happens on Wednesday stays on
But
Wednesday.
yeah, some gamble. I don't gamble, but I guess like other people do. So maybe gambling at night or something.
You don't gamble at all?
Mm.
Have you ever, for any reason, or just?
I don't find it that fun.
Yeah, well, you gambled with your career. That's what we.
I do.
gamble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
living a
every-
gamble
yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what, it is not working out.
Yeah, this podcast is down.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are down.
Yeah, I am
Thanks for
all
having me,
in
guys.
on.
I will say though, Jim, our fans are loyal.
Yeah,
There are not many of them, but they will follow everything you do and love you going forward. So
Love
it's like
it.
real dogs. We got real dogs.
Real talk.
We got real dogs.
Are you worried now? What's gonna happen with like places like Vegas or Thailand trying to keep up?
We're Talktown. We're putting everybody out of business.
that's true.
We're in our own town. You know what I mean? Fuck
All
them.
right.
We haven't really dealt with
Simple
international
answer.
travel in and out of Talktown,
Or
so
do you
it's
have,
hard
yeah,
to.
requirements for residency or visitors? Do we have visas? We have Talktown visas.
Well, this does move into my next idea, if you guys
Great.
want to discuss it,
Hit it.
which is
The
it is a-
legalities of
Greg
immigration.
chose a hard line about immigration.
There is. I gotta tell you this. Now, and I know
Well, if they
there's a
can
lot.
get over the wall, then they can come in.
You can't. It's made of fire. We've already discussed it.
It's going to be tricky, but
So it says deal with immigration. And if we could try to, try to not keep our, from getting upset about the whole thing. Immigration can be dealt with like trades, like a draft. So we can do immigration, but we start drafting people from other countries. It's like first round pick. We can still let other people, we can still do all the. So don't go to where you're at, where
I know.
where it's
I'm
like
trying
with
not to.
reality. We're
Just
staying in the
breathe.
fun zone.
breathe through this
I
one.
know.
Yeah, breathe through this
the
one. Yeah.
premise.
This
Yeah.
is
I don't
real.
know. We got into some real choppy waters sometimes.
Yeah. But this is more just think of the fun aspect.
Yeah.
Speaking of choppy waters,
Yeah, that's how they get here. So if you want to immigrate to a place, every block in Talktown gets to vote. So like people come in, they're like, "Hey, I want to live there," and it's like, "Oh, we can draft who we want to live on our block." This doesn't have to do with immigration. This could just be like how you get to pick your own neighbors.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's keep it to
The draft.
non-racial, I guess.
Oh, none of this was ever racial. This was all just being like,
Yeah.
if you want to come into Talktown, we draft you or we trade you, right? So it's like if we hit a cap with the amount of people in Talktown, we're like, all right, we can't have any more people. We go, all right, well, we really want America's Michael Jordan. We go, hey, we gotta trade fucking our cancer
Scotty?
scientist to them. We could do trades.
I like the idea of Michael Jordan trying to get into this place, and he's having a hard time. He's just waiting for someone else to die or fuck up bad
Yeah.
enough to get sent away.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
because he's like, I'm first on the list.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to make plans, but I'm about to go to Talktown if my predictions are
You
correct.
could buy the whole city.
what qualities are you looking for?
I
in a
think it's
person?
like if we're sitting in Talktown and we're like, fuck, we really don't have a good NBA team. It's like, well, we need to draft some immigrants
Basketball
from
Who
other
needs
fake.
an NBA team when you can jerk off in the parking lot?
Right.
Exactly. That's why our
No
team's not
one's
that great.
watching basketball
I
anymore.
don't give a shit about
There's
basketball.
no glasses at night. Can't even see it.
If I can give a blurry blowjob.
And if everyone is coming, people just don't have the motivation to
Yeah.
be that
No.
good.
Yeah, competitive
No.
sports mean nothing if
Yeah,
you're
nobody's
coming all the
angry.
time.
Yeah. I do like the idea of this isn't very fun. I'm just gonna say it. We have ICE, but they don't take you to a prison.
No.
They take you to a birthday party. They grab you off the street and bring you to a
What a
surprise birthday
rebrand.
party.
What a rebrand for
What's
ICE.
Talktowns? Our immigration police,
Right.
because everything is great. We grab you off the street and we bring you to a surprise party.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. It's for your birthday. We don't know because we don't do it on your birthday, but everyone get one once a year. A surprise. You have a whole year to do your surprise party, and I do like the idea of people getting fully kidnapped into getting a birthday party or a callback. You now have to watch Star Wars movies.
Well, yeah, we've already,
Sure.
That was a thing. I forgot what that was about.
You wanted to kidnap me and force me to watch 12 hours of Star Wars stuff. Because I was
Weird.
like, I'm not really interested in it. And you were like, I'll kidnap you, take you to my basement.
So weird
You'll
how
watch
Leiby remembers these specifics. And you've chosen to block all of that out.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know what we were talking about.
Strange.
There was a reason for it, though. There was like a fun reason. I don't remember what the reason was.
It was that you wanted me to watch Star Wars stuff.
I know.
Well,
and
it's
this is
like when you want to get somebody on board
Yes.
with your favorite thing.
Yes.
And this was a way to do that, was kidnapping day.
Yes.
This is how.
But then you were
Kidnapping
also
day.
going to a basement in like the Maldives. Remember, there was a tropical
Yeah,
element, but you
things
were
got out of
indoors.
hand.
Yeah, it kind of spun out. But
that was back in the episodes when I used to be high the whole time. That's why I don't remember.
oh, that's true.
Yeah. And also, can I just tell you a fun aside?
Yeah.
When we first started doing the podcast, I was getting high every episode.
Mhm.
That was like the idea, the original idea I had when we wanted to start the podcast, when that became something else. Yeah, it was anyway.
Deal with it. Yeah.
Deal with it. And
Okay,
then
go
some
slow.
guy saw me at a show and goes, "Hey man, I don't want to be honest. Like you're high every episode. It feels like you're running from something, right?" I was like, "Fuck," right? I was like, first I was like, "Well, no, that's the podcast." Blah blah blah. But I was like, "No, man, give this guy. If he sees this, maybe it's a thing. Maybe investigate it."
Yeah.
Which led me into essentially getting a doctor, finding out I have depression, getting on depression medication, realizing I was smoking too much weed for whatever, and now I smoke weed again. That last weekend, I'm in St. Louis. Guy shows up at the show and he wanted to like apologize. He's like, "Last time I saw you, I feel bad. I said that thing, and I just thought that wasn't really in my place to say that or something." I really remember what he was saying, and I was like, "No, man, you don't get it. Because you said that, I changed my whole life and got on depression medication. So thank you.
It all worked out.
Yeah, so that happened.
I like the idea that this guy just keeps showing up in your life like he's your Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's not real. He just like a view of Greg just talking to no one after a show.
It's like, no, man,
As
you
the
changed
room
my
clears
life.
out, yeah, you changed my life. Is he talking to a table tent?
Do you know the backstory with Snuffleupagus? This is because I
No.
have kids now. So I don't remember Snuffleupagus originally when made. No one else could see him except Big Bird.
Yeah.
Right.
But then everyone was worried that the people at the children's workshop were like, we're afraid that kids are going to be afraid to tell their parents things because they think they won't believe them. So then they were like, make it so everyone can see Snuffleupagus. So they did an episode where she's like, Big Bird's like, no, I'm telling you, I could see him. And then everyone meets Snuffleupagus. And they're like, oh, Big Bird, we believe you, and you should be able to tell us. It was like this kind of like sweet thing.
Sesame Street's the best thing America ever made.
For real.
Yeah, it
For
really
real.
is.
Kind of is. We
It-
forget.
Like
Yeah.
it is so wonderful, and I think it's like gone a little in a different direction. Like it's still very educational and like
Yeah.
positive, but like I don't think it has quite the juice that it had when we were younger. It's a little more like Elmo focused or something.
So
Yeah,
yeah, it's like toy franchise
Yeah,
driven,
but
I
like
mean that's just how everything's gone.
yeah,
so.
but like the real like educational and like compassion and community building elements of it, I'm like that is the best thing we've ever done, and it's children's television.
yeah,
It's still pretty
Oh,
good.
of course,
I
it's still,
still
like,
watch
excellent.
it. I got to give
Is
respect to it.
Telly still around?
They're still good. Telly doesn't show as much.
I loved
Also,
Telly.
I
fucking
don't think I know.
Prairie-
Telly Monster?
Yeah,
It's
we
the
were in
orange
this-
one.
Yeah, he's kind of like an oval.
Telly was great.
Okay.
Orange nose.
Blue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He's still around. Actually, he shows up.
Oh,
Okay.
blue fur and orange nose,
No, pink fur.
pink fur.
Yeah,
Right,
you'd
okay.
see him. You'd go, oh, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Telly.
Telly's still around. I'll tell you this though. I wrote an entire script based on this idea. Prairie Dawn disappeared. No one remembers Prairie Dawn. You guys don't even remember.
I know who
Prairie
you're talking
Dawn.
about. As
Yes.
soon as you said it, I pictured her.
Yes. She had like blonde hair. She's a
Uh-huh.
pink little whatever.
Yeah,
Completely
Yeah.
gone. And then all of a sudden, now we have Abby Kadabi, who's like a fairy, shows up. She kind of looks like, I think that there was some kind of somebody killed Prairie Dawn, and
It's
I
like
think that's her
Avril
ghost.
Lavigne dying and being replaced with a double or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Abby
This is
Kadabi is the
wild.
ghost of Prairie Dawn because she showed up when that disappeared. When
What do you think happened?
I think Elmo killed her.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
What's the,
I
Believe it.
When Elmo took over, because it
Okay.
used to be Kermit and Big Bird's world, and what a great world they were.
Kermit's
running.
over in Muppet Show.
Yeah, but he rolls around. He still like shows.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
You know, he's still he does the news there.
He's
and
like
he's still
O-
running things.
He's like Obama.
Yeah.
yeah,
Pops up everywhere, kind of, you know?
But it was Big Bird's
It's got a
world.
production company.
Right.
And then when Elmo ousted Big Bird, things started changing.
Hmm.
You know, Prairie Dawn is gone. I think she fought. I think he killed her. And now many
Okay.
Snuffleupagus fell in line. Like something's
Fell
going on over
in
there.
line.
How is he falling in line? I mean, I haven't kept up,
Yeah.
obviously, with Sesame Street. What's
Yeah,
Snuffleupagus up to these days?
They're
that
just
it's
all
different?
they're all pretty quiet. Big Bird's a little held back.
They're all like, whatever you say, Elmo.
Yeah.
You're the boss. You're so funny
Yeah.
and smart,
It's
Elmo.
like the Trump administration.
Yeah, Elmo's gone. They all write books.
Yeah. Snuffleupagus is like Christy Gnome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think Cookie Monster sold his fucking soul out, probably for some cookies.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause he's like best friends.
I
He's
like
got
his
so
little.
much.
I like his little buddy Gonger.
Gonger.
They're like
Yeah,
they have like a
Gonger's-
food truck together.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
That's so funny.
I got to catch up on Sesame
Yeah,
Street.
wow.
There's
Yeah.
a really funny joke that they get going. What?
Sis, Leiby, you know a lot about recent Sesame Street without having kids. This
I have
is
a lot
pretty
of friends.
exciting.
I have friends with kids.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I like I've seen and I'm aware
You're
of
up to
kind
date.
of some of the up to date stuff. Also, we were a Jim Henson house, so I'm always
Uh-huh.
like, what's going on with Henson stuff?
Check back in.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you ever read my script? It's all based on this. You're gonna love it.
No.
I know. Well, if you could.
you were like, don't. I'm gonna resend you an updated
Oh, I did?
one, and then you never did.
Well, that's fair.
Get it out now. Let's do a live reading.
Oh man, no,
Good
it's.
call.
I'm really.
Oh, we should do that for an ep.
Yeah.
I really like it though, so I really think I could sell
Wow.
it.
Right.
I really would like to sell it.
How
I have a lot of
often
heart into it.
Is Sesame Street coming up with new people? Or is it just kind of, are they aiming for like once a year, or is it just kind of,
No, I think every now and again when someone finds their voice
Okay.
and people like them, like right now, people you would know is Rosalita. She's very much in. And then there's another one who kind of looks like Rosalita, but I don't know. I can't think of her name. and then Abby Cadabby. One of them has a pet rock, and it's so funny. I think it's one of the funniest jokes is that they're like, he puts a pet rock, and Elmo's like, she's like, say hi, Elmo, and Elmo's like, I'm not saying hello, it's a fucking rock.
Yeah.
And he says it every time. He hates the rock. His name is Rocco, and he's like, be nice to Rocco. He's like, I'm not gonna be nice to Rocco. Rocco's a rock. He doesn't talk. And it's just like this funny gag.
funny.
You start to see why Elmo has so much star power.
Yeah.
I mean,
He gets
that's
it.
a great angle.
He won't put
He
over the
gets it.
rock.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Do you guys have anything?
I thought I did, and then I couldn't remember it this morning.
I have nothing on Sesame Street. Jim,
Oh.
do you have anything? I might have something.
Or any
but
gripes?
For Talktown, like what I would do.
Talk
Yeah.
town or a big
World.
gripe you got going.
I've been getting it like
something lately.
I mean, this is divisive, but bike infrastructure
Yeah.
is a big
Okay.
thing for me. And I don't own a car. I love cars. I grew up driving, but since being in New York, and
Yeah.
even when I lived in Cleveland, I
Yeah.
ride my bike everywhere a lot. And I've gone down this I've gotten like whatever red pilled is on YouTube, but for urban cycling
Yes.
infrastructure videos.
Mhm.
Lavender
That's-
pilled.
Yeah, lavender pill.
Yeah,
And yeah, so anything that I would ever build or improve upon a society, it
Mhm.
would be very pedestrian and bike focused. And cars are welcome, but fucking put them somewhere else.
Yes.
Put them in a garage. Why do you have to drive right up to anything?
What,
I'm gonna
how
fight
do
you all on this.
Where do you? So you're biking around. You have to go to, let's call it Midtown.
Mhm.
Where do you put the bike these days? Do they have adequate
So I have a
parking?
bike that folds.
Whoa.
Those are cool.
Yeah, are they?
I think
Mhm,
so.
I think so too.
Seems cool.
And functionally,
When I'm watching it happen, I'm
Yeah.
like, that's cool.
it does feel a little. I mean, it's a little bit emasculating to just stand there and fold your bike up
Yeah.
in front of
Yeah,
I
like a
guess
car
when you
seat.
Put it exactly like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So sometimes you can bring it into places. If it's a quick in and out, I'm locking it up.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's not as. It depends where you're at. There's not a lot of space to lock it up.
Yeah.
My old office I worked at was a dream. They had a bike room that was accessible only by key card.
Oh, that's great.
Ugh.
And even like the stairs going up into the building had a little gutter that you just like roll your bike.
Yeah, they gotta have
Whoa.
more of that. That's
up the
awesome.
thing, and then you just hit your ID card. The doors open up. You hang your bike up with everyone else's.
Where did you work?
I worked at an animation studio in Dumbo.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Real
For,
artist situation.
And
Just
Dumbo
called-
knows it's an inaccessible place. They're like, people got to ride
Yeah.
bikes here or something.
Oh,
Can't get here.
it would be like full of bikes.
Yeah.
But
But so easy they're so small that it's like, yeah, you don't need a ton of room for everybody to have a bike store.
No, it wasn't that big of a the bike. Yeah, the bike storage room wasn't huge.
Mhm.
So yeah, stuff like that where I'm just like, let's make it so like you don't need to own a thing that costs like $500 or more dollars a month to maintain.
Yes.
So you can go to Target every
Right.
like I rented a car to go back to Pennsylvania, and we just like this weekend, and we're just like running errands and stuff, and I'm just like getting in the car and then like getting to a parking lot and then walking as far as I would walk to go do the same thing in New York
Right.
Yes.
to then get back in a car. I'm just like so like over it. Road trips, on the other hand, love a road trip.
Oh, yeah.
Love a long drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't love a short drive.
I'll say this as a driver, because now I have to
Yeah.
drive into the city. It's impossible to not like. It makes me so mad because if I can't to take the bus from Jersey, like yesterday, it's
Yeah.
3 hours, two
Wow.
different buses, a whole fucking thing. Then they can't put the car anywhere. And I'll say this about you bikers, and I like bikers,
Mhm.
but you don't obey the stop light, the light that says.
No, they usually don't.
They just blast through it when I'm trying to make a safe left.
That's why you need the infrastructure
Yeah.
part. You need to make it so that everybody has their own rules to follow that work with other people's rules.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, there's a literally light, like I think it's like 23rd. That's
Yeah.
like it says it's a symbol of a bike and it's a red bike light, and so I can make a left, and people just blow through. I almost kill people all the time. I'm like,
Yeah.
No,
man, you guys got to follow that law.
Well, and a lot of people like get on a city bike and like don't know biking rules.
I
It
can't.
drives me, and
Yes.
don't wear
Mm.
helmets and are insane. But it is true. Like there is no like you do have to take a test to have a car, but you don't have to take a test to ride a bike. And I
Right.
think you should.
In the city,
Yeah.
there should be a test to ride a bike in the city.
In the city, for sure.
For sure.
Especially those city bikes. Because, yeah, you see people get on a city bike and they're like visiting from wherever, and they don't
Like
even
on
ride
their
a
phone.
Yeah, they don't even ride a bike where they live,
Yes.
and then they get to Manhattan, and they're like,
So
"Oh, let me rent an electric bike that goes from 0 to 35 in one pedal rotation."
Against the cars
traffic.
coming at you in the middle of the
Yeah.
road.
with guys that are on electric bikes who are doing it for a living, delivering food,
Yes.
and then
You're missiles. Those are human missiles.
it's insane. Like, I mean, part of riding in New York is kind of exciting because you're almost dying all the time.
Right.
But I don't think it should be like that. But New York is good when you hit the greenways and you can go
Yeah.
all the way
Oh,
around
yeah.
Manhattan in a bike lane that's completely designated for that.
Can we
whole
talk
purpose.
about this New York thing that no one seems to notice is gone? We had for 2 years Revel motorcycles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
That
I
they
wouldn't
just
touch
slowly
those.
pulled
I would
out.
not touch those.
They just
No.
let
Not
anybody.
a chance.
I did. I rode them. Let me tell you this. I should not have been riding them.
Of
No.
course not.
I know I could name 5 people that I know that I was just like, why are you doing
Yeah,
this?
I
Yeah.
have friends that were like, we love it. And they were just doing this short distance back and forth, like Gowanus to over Carroll Gardens. And I was just like, I don't know, guys.
Yeah.
Vespa
I don't know.
scooters that
Yeah.
you rent by the hour and then follow
Insane.
no laws.
Put on a borrowed helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait,
Ugh. Yuck.
I've
You
shared
just
this.
finished. You just pounded like 3 IPAs.
Yeah.
At the Bell House.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna ride to Astoria.
Yeah. On a motorcycle.
At 2 a.m.
So I'll share this fun story. Everyone was like, what's the worst that can happen? I opened the bike helmet. I promise you, I put the bike helmet on. As I put the bike helmet
There's
on,
a head in there.
I will tell you a full Chinese lo mein dinner. I swear to God, poured down on my head. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know how I didn't notice it.
Wait, how are the when you were renting, like, how was the helmet store? Like, so they're just kind of wherever, and you look at an app, and it's like, oh, there's one on this corner that's like ready to kind of pick up, right?
It's 2 helmets
Like
in
a
big
cartoon. I
Yes.
just picture like a pepper falling into your open
Yeah.
mouth, and you're going, "Well, this is just great."
Yeah, it was on an already bad day.
Yeah.
Of course it was.
I was running late, and it was just like for a job interview. It was just full sauce and noodles coming down my face, and I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me!" There's 2 helmets. One's like large, and the other was an extra large. They both go in the box, and the box locks. But you could use that box as like, like a trunk.
To store
Yeah,
Chinese food.
So people store Chinese food in there. It was a fucking nightmare.
That's so funny.
And those things were fast, man. They were fast.
Yeah, they were
motorcycles.
motorcycles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never. I was always curious, but I was always just like,
Not a chance.
I'm not paying to
Die.
die.
Yeah.
Well, they were a heat check in terms of like,
Yeah.
okay, how far can we go with this like ride share, hop on, whatever, before it gets out of hand? And that was it.
And they were like,
that was
"That's
the
the
end of
line."
it. Yeah, they found the line.
But you notice they didn't make a big statement how they're like, hey, this is over. They just slowly
Yeah, they just phased
were-
it
Yeah,
out.
they
like,
fa-
clearly a bunch of people died and they wanted to keep it fucking quiet.
Mhm. But they have cars
Like Disney World.
that are
Yeah.
just basically Ubers.
But they're
Oh,
more
Revel
expensive.
has electric.
like a-
they're electric taxis. Or whatever.
Yeah, which is driven by somebody else. And I'm like, that's a different business.
I don't get it. And
Yeah.
they're very expensive too.
Uh-huh.
Are they?
I tried. I was like, Rebel. I was like, what? It was like $200. I'm like, what? It was very expensive. I don't know why.
So wait, it is a driver, or you can drive it?
I don't.
I think it's a driver.
Yeah, it's like its own
It's Uber.
service. It's
Oh,
Uber, but
okay.
they're all. I thought their thing was like we're all electric.
I think it is.
Okay.
There aren't a ton of them around, but they
No.
are around. And I'm always like, you guys just were like, wow, we'll do something else now.
Somewhere there is a giant landfill filled with Revel scooters that they just
Oh, yeah.
dumped there.
Yeah.
What happened to
Yeah.
this? Or a country that just has a
It's a, yeah.
third world country with just a 15 little Spanish guys on a
Just
motorcycle.
a bunch of exploding batteries.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just riding around a bunch of ticking time bombs.
Jeez.
Well, I think when you like, I don't know, when you watch footage of like, I don't know, Bangladesh or Calcutta or whatever, it's like they're equipped for it over there because they've been driving.
It's the culture.
It's
Yeah.
part of the culture where I think is
They don't have F-150s on the same
That
road.
too. That too.
Like,
That's a good
it's
point.
not like it's like
Yeah,
everybody
they're coming.
knows how to ride a motorized bicycles and scooters and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, this all works there.
Right.
They're not like 9-lane highways
Right.
and like everyone owns an SUV like that has
Yeah.
no visibility.
It's the same with bikes. How
Yes.
people ride bikes like assholes here because we don't have a bike culture. We have
Yes.
a car culture. But if you go somewhere where it's a lot of people bike and it's part of the culture, they understand
A game
Yes.
how to follow. Yeah, how to follow the rules a little better.
I hate to be this guy
Be that
because
guy.
I
I'm.
think you kind of love to be.
I
this
don't
You
guy.
kind of-
love to be this guy.
love this guy.
Whatever guy it is, I
Whatever
think you
this
like
guy,
it.
Whatever guy's got on the way.
Yeah, I
man,
gotta be
you love
honest.
this guy.
What you guys are saying is 99% wrong. And I didn't know that when I went to Dominican Republic. They're all scooters, 50 kids on a scooter. No one wears helmets, and guess what? That's where most people die on scooters.
Yeah, I
they're
mean-
they're like getting murdered, but they don't have.
They weren't there early. Like like scooter stuff has been like
Like South Asia
That's- yeah.
is
Not
like
the
scooter
Dominican
Seriously, I
culture.
gotta go further.
Dominican
I gotta go
Republic was
further
like
away.
Dominican Republic was like cars, then scooters,
Yes.
and cars again.
Because they're
That's
dude,
my guess.
in this
I'm not
town,
Dominican.
it was like so many scooters, so many people, and then they were like, "Oh, this is the leading place in the world for motor vehicle crashes." And then we get there, and they go, "Oh, and this hospital has one CAT scan machine, and it doesn't work." So people were just dying over there from this shit, and it's easily fixed. Elon Musk could go like this and go, "Hey, guess what? Everyone gets a helmet. Everyone gets a CAT scan machine. This country's different." But no, it's like their scooters are crazy. This isn't.
I do have a question.
I'm getting out of this.
What's the most embarrassing thing you've yelled at someone? Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
After like
On
a
a
near
bike?
miss on a bike.
Embarrassing for me, where I went
Like, you know when you're like so
ooh,
heated.
cringe.
Yeah, I guess so. Or like you know when it's like things get so heated or so emotional, and like you yell a thing in the moment, and you're like, "Oh, that was like that was." I wish I could have that one back.
Yeah, or
I
like
don't-
using swear words. Sometimes I'm like, I don't give a hell shit. Like just like when you're so angry, you're just like, I can't put these words together.
I don't have. See, this is where I noticed that I don't have the impulse to yell.
Okay.
I don't think it's good. Like I wish I would just yell.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like reactive, but then I immediately stifle it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it probably
similar
turns
thing.
into like an ulcer or something.
Sure.
But I've definitely smacked taxi
Oh,
cabs
okay.
Good.
for sure. I was walking once when I was drunk, and a car blew the intersection and almost hit me and a couple of friends, and I spit on it.
Nice.
Whoa.
And then they kind of like my friends were like, "Did you just spit on that car?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I was like really embarrassed that I did it because I was like, "There's no fucking reason for that." Like,
It did nothing to the car. I
it
think
did
you're
nothing
totally
to the
fine.
car.
You're
No, I'm
cleaning
saying
it.
that's why you're okay to spit on it.
I'm okay to like. I don't think the guy noticed, but it was one of those things where I'm like, that could have turned out bad.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know who I spit on.
Right. No,
Right.
that's
And
true.
I didn't fix that person. They don't get out and look at the spit and go, maybe I ought to think about blowing those yellow lights. Well, I could have just endangered myself and my friends if that was some unstable wacko.
Sure.
But yeah, that's how I embarrass myself. But when I get cut off and I want to yell, I kind of go like, ugh.
Yeah.
and then I just think later of all the things I should have yelled or whatever. It's really, I wish I was more of a yeller because I feel like New York, it's more tolerated. You can
Yeah,
get
it
to a
feels
pretty
that's part
heated
of-
level of yelling.
Oh, yeah.
And
Whenever-
you're not in
Yeah.
danger.
Whenever I
Yeah.
see, because I've seen so often bicyclists and drivers screaming at each other. It
Yeah.
just feels like it's part of the exchange.
Yeah.
I guess that's what I mean.
Yeah. No, it is. I definitely have nothing against yelling at people, but
I had a guy, I was in a cab and I wanted to go to Astoria and I got in the cab and I was like, Astoria. And he was like, no, I'm not taking you to Astoria, which is illegal, right? So
Yeah.
he told me to get out of the cab, but he wouldn't move. So I got out of the cab and I left the door open. And then he got mad. And so he came around. And as he ran around, I went and I opened another door. And then he was like, and I was like running around just opening doors. And he was so, I'd never seen someone so angry. And the angrier he got, the happier I was getting. He just kept going around opening all the doors. Oh, it was so funny.
It's like, I'm never get into a fight with a trained clown again.
you
so
messed with the
mad.
wrong goofball.
Yeah, I almost hit a couple people too. I remember I hit a guy on the bike once. I was coming home from the cellar, and he like came out of nowhere, and we like tapped him. I tapped him a little. I was like, oh fuck, right? And so me and it was Caitlin Palufo were driving, and we just drove the next guy. And we were like, hey man, you okay? And he kept going, oh, he started screaming like you like at me, yelling at me. And I was like, no, we want to make sure you're okay. And he was like, what? Yeah,
It is
I'm
funny.
okay.
Yeah.
I
Just
didn't
ready
know-
to fight.
No one's ever done this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get hit every day. And
It's
we were like,
so
we're just trying to
shocking when there's de-escalation
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah. I had that happen Yeah, I hit some lady over here. I bumped her at a red light, and I think same thing. She assumed I was gonna ready for war. And I was so apologetic and threw her so
yeah.
much.
Yeah, I didn't want this to happen. No one's
Yeah.
wanted this to happen.
How are we doing on time? Oh.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Want to
Dang.
plug
Plug
again?
away,
and-
Jim. Look right
Jim
into
Tews
that.
with pictures on YouTube. Jim Tews without pictures, which is an audio version, but it's slightly different.
It's slightly
Oh.
different.
It is slightly different because there's bits I didn't include in the special that were audio only that I put on the album.
Ah, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and at Jim Tews, hit my YouTube, subscribe. I'm trying to get monetized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hovering.
Yeah, man.
I need like 400 more watch hours.
Really?
Okay.
That's not bad. I'll
No.
do 200 myself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put it on while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
If you got
Get on
iPad
it,
babies,
Chalktown.
yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone should be monetized.
great.
That's crazy
I
that
know.
they choose.
They used to be. My YouTube channel is 19 years old.
Wow.
Wow.
right.
So YouTube doesn't know what to do
can
with
vote.
my content. Yeah. Yeah. It could drink in Europe.
Yeah. They should just have some that you should just be able to submit. YouTube should have a thing where I go, hey, watch this. And if you think it's funny, push it. Like instead of the algorithm, right? You should be like,
It used to be a
Yeah.
person. In the very early days of YouTube, I used to put sketches up there, and I literally got an email from a guy who was like, "Hey, we're gonna throw this on the front page of the comedy section or whatever. This is gonna end
Yeah.
up on the regular front page. Keep an eye on things." And that's so long gone. But yeah,
Wow.
it used to be
Wow.
you wouldn't submit it, but they would, catch wind of it or
Right.
whatever.
right. But I think they should do a submittal service. Like, hey man, I've been on here 19 years. You can't watch one video.
Right.
You can't
Or
help
at
me
least
out.
at least understand I've been here 19 years and I just put out a comedy special. Why don't you go ahead and monetize me?
Yeah.
Right.
Let me at
like-
least
Right.
make some money. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been here from the start
Yeah.
when you were
Yeah.
a guy.
Yeah. When you-
Back it was just me tube, dog.
yeah.
Me too.
Back when it was just us tube.
Oh, that's funny. All right. See ya. Oh, wait. Patreon.com/welcome to Talktown. We got lots of stuff going up.
Yeah.
Also, I do have to make a personal apology here.
Sure.
Mm.
So on my Patreon, I used to just have the old Rad Dude Cast episodes, and I'd be putting up stuff, and not many people would be watching the stuff. So I was like, I guess they don't like it. So someone messaged me and was like, hey man, I miss your Patreon content.
Oh.
So I'm putting up like night cream videos and stuff on
Nice.
my Patreon, and there's a way. I'm gonna try to figure this out. I'm gonna try to give people you can give them like a subscription, like you give them like a gift, where we can give them like a 6 months of the of our Patreon for free. So
Oh.
I'm thinking about trying to figure out how to do that. I just don't know how to do it. But
Cool.
I'm looking into that stuff.
We'll figure it out.
Sounds
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Also, Jim, everyone, happy birthday or whatever. Happy birthday to me.
Happy birthday, Greg.
Happy
God.
birthday
Just kidding.
to
All right.
Greg.
My birthday is also next episode too, because we're filming it right now.
Yep. Back to back.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
two
Birthday episodes.
Two birthday episodes.
Yeah. Thanks so much
Yeah.
for listening and watching. Join the Patreon, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Talk Town.